had showed y'all before how I made this out of baby blankets that I got from Dollar Tree. This is like a little dog shirt. And it's very simple. I'll put in the comments of how I showed to do this in another video. But this is, I took, and this one is made out of a Dollar Tree scarf like this. And I think you can make about two. My dogs are 10 pounds and maybe 14 pounds, so they're smaller dogs. But anyway, this is the same pattern. This one is a little bit longer, and it's cold outside, so I took some of this. This is yarn that you get at Walmart, and it's like $7 for a big skein of it. And what I did is I sewed it underneath, and I had to take it up right here because it was falling off their shoulders. And so I just decorated it with that. And then I put it around the sleeves are big, and they like them that way. And then, of course, this is the hem, and I put this around the hem. And I'm going to show you how I did this. I'm going to show you some more of my samples. Now this one is made out of the same thing. It's just a different color. And it's made out of these car towels. This right here. And I saved the scraps, and I'm going to show you what I do with the scraps. But this just has one seam if you do it right. It just has one seam, and of course I have that in the other video. And this one I made a little collar, and I did make it out of this, some scraps that I had, and I sewed it, and I just flipped it back, and then I put them on just a little cuff at the top because it in one bean it kind of rubs her a little raw if I don't have them big. And then I made a little hem, and this kind of keeps them warm. And I left a little spot for them to run and jump, because when they do get to go outside, it's not real cold. They can stay out there for longer. Okay, this is a piece of that towel that I have left. And this one I just used all for strips for the hem. And I just folded it in half. And then I cut, this is probably what I call about 3 inches on my finger. And that will go around the hem of these girls. I take it, and I'm going to show you how I sew it. I put this like this together. I'll sew one side, and then I flip it under, and I sew the other side. But I just cut a strip. And this is what I start off with. It's just a little plain one. And on these, sometimes I'll just go on and sew this up. And they have the U shape around their neck. But this is one that I've already done the hem on. Now you can leave it like this. And I just do what I call a whip stitch. And I do hand stitch, but you can sew it. And I measured on her, and this is going to be a perfect length, but if you want it shorter after you cut it, it might be too long, you can come under here and do a whip stitch, and then you'll have something like this at the bottom. And then when you get ready to do the collar, I have it right side to me when I hem it, everything. And I start in the center right here, and I'm gonna like put the two wrong sides together, and then I whip stitch all the way around, and I come around like this. Let me get my pins. And if you want to, you can pin it, and I pin it all the way over here to the seam in the shoulder. Now this is if you want to get more fancy with sewing. In the winter time, there's not much of anything else to do but crafts. But anyway, you come around here and you can just pin this all under here. Till you come all the way around to this side, so that when you flip this, it's going to be a perfect edge. It's going to be a hemmed edge, just like it's supposed to be. And then the ends, you'll have like a little collar. And I leave it because that does not ravel. But let me show you on this one. I did have the serged ends on this one, but you don't have to cut it or anything. You can put a little button there, little shiny button, but on my girls, they're chewers, so I don't put anything on it, because I've had some of them take them off at night. But as you can see, I've got this one a raw edge, but if you have enough left, you can just go all the way around here. And they have a little sleeve, and you always want to start here. And as you can see, I cuffed it, but you start in the middle right there of the seam, and then when you come back, you can leave this raw because, like I said, it's serged, but you can hem it. You may not want it long. And I did the same thing to this side. And as you can see in this one, now you can turn them either way you want to. It's a little more fuzzy on this side than it is on this one. But I just took this right here, and you can have a back. On this one, it really doesn't matter because they're both the same, but you can see where I start on this one, and I just kind of make them meet. But you just take, and you've got it right side, and you want to start in the middle, and then you go around. And they have different colors of these. These tails only come in white. But anyway, you go around like that. And you do the same thing here, you know, like I've come in under the seam of the arm. And this side didn't have a seam because of the way that I cut it. But I still started here. And with the hem, I do the same thing. I started like in the middle of usually a back or a front. On this one, it doesn't matter. But I started right here, and I just went around it and had this. Now, these are, to me, they're very warm. My girls don't mind wearing them. They're not very stretchy, so you want to make them where they have some room to move. My girls do sleep in these. Then this one, I did have the slit on both sides, so what I did, I started at the center again in the back, or just the center, because this doesn't really have a front or back, and I go all around and I come down. You can see how I stitch it, and I just come down and go in that loop and come back up, and they have a little belly room that way, because when they go outside, they run and play with each other. And I want to make sure this neck is pretty big. Now see, this is where I had to take it up because it was falling off their shoulders. But they love it. I have one that likes to roll in leaves. And of course, when she comes in, I have to pick the leaves off, or sometimes I have to put her on another one. But you can throw these in the washing machine with the same color that they are, and you can wash it on regular. And you get them out and you can throw them in the dryer, and then there they go. You got them. You can even put a little baby hanger in them if you want to. I just take a clothespin and I just hang mine up on a shelf I have in the laundry room. But I wanted to show y'all this so that y'all could, you know, make your little dog something. If you got a bigger dog, you're probably going to have to buy some material. I've even done the scarf that's all the way around a circle. I forgot what they call those. But they're a little bit smaller than these. Walmart has, I think it's 2 or 3 yards, I can't remember, of material. Now, it's not like the scarf material, that you can make it out of, and I have showed y'all my pattern before, but I don't have it up here right now, but it is in my other video. Okay, this is double threaded with white thread, just regular thread with a knot at the end. I'm going to show you what a whip stitch is. This is the collar that I'm going to be working on. And a whip stitch is where you put this in this way, and then you get kind of close. I like to get it close, and I'll do this because I don't want it to knot up. But I hope y'all can see this. And you just keep doing this. Don't let that pin you put in there get you. So I take it out. And you just want to keep it lined up right here. And make sure you get both of them. And this whip stitch keeps it in there better than a straight stitch. And I hold on to it so it don't tangle. Now some of them you might want to do what I call slip stitch, and that's where you take this and you whip it around. Then you go back in again, and you want to go the other way. If you don't go the other way, you're going to have a twist. Your thread's going to be twisted, and you can do it that way if that's what you want to do. Just make sure you hold that down. When you do it, I hold the needle, and then I come back in with this finger, and I hold that thread down, and I let it slip through my finger. And what I don't want it to do is to get caught on like a corner or something. So when I come to the end and I'm going to finish off, or I've run out of thread and I have to rethread another one, I usually have like six of them over here. But you take this, here's your needle here, and you pull it up and you hold it with your fingers, and you want to go 1, 2, and hold that down with the finger and pull it through, and you've got a knot that won't come out. And I usually at the end will make 2. Sometimes I'll make in between. It's once, twice, and I take the needle, I hold it with this one, and I'm going to hold a thread with this one and just let it glide in. Now if you do get tangled up, you can just hold it down like that, but you just keep sewing just like this. Until you got it stitched all the way around. Try to hold that thread so it doesn't get caught on anything. I kind of made this out of scraps. I do have a regular holder for these with my needles, and people like to come in and push all this down with all my pins. But I made this one. I just put scraps in it. I took a rubber band, and I've got a few of these, but I wanted these mainly for my needles. And I have like, I got like 6. I've got one over there. And I just go on and thread these. And I just lay them down beside me, and I'll just pick one out and use it. That way I'm not stopping and threading. It's just easier for me to do it like this.